Hi, I'm here with Emily Pidgeon, who has just recently joined the St Mary's set-up and being coached by Mick Woods. So, Em, would you like to tell us what you've been up to the last few months?
So probably not done as much as I'd like to do. I started my season in April in America, so I went training to South Africa in March, which I had a really good time with my training partner Katrina Wotton, and we had a really good time. But then I went to America in April and ran absolutely shockingly bad in Mount Sac, and it was awful. So I didn't really have a very good experience out there. And then when I came back and started the UK season, I just for sort of complicated reasons, my training hadn't been quite right, and I was probably really fit but not race sharp, and I just didn't run that well, nowhere near as well as I'd like to have done. So anyway, so that was kind of the beginning of the season, and then at the beginning of June I was getting some pain in my foot, but I almost sort of held on for a little bit, thinking I might be able to get a bit more of a season out of the year, but my foot was getting worse and worse, and I kind of thought it might be a bit bad. So I went to the physio, and he confirmed that it was a stress fracture in my foot, in my second metatarsal of my left foot. So from the beginning of June I then didn't run for 8 weeks. I had 4 weeks in a boot, and then I started back running again at the very end of August. So ever since then I've kind of been building up, but I've had a couple of niggles since then. So I started back building up and then had to stop again because my foot started again, building up, had to stop again, and then I've started for the third time, and it's been really good since then. So I'm kind of cracking on now, getting there very slowly.
Okay, because I know you personally, I knew that you were you're thinking about quitting, weren't you, at one point? So what's made you kind of turn around your thinking process, really?
Well, basically I've kind of been a bit frustrated with the last 5 years, really. Although I've had good races in there, which has kept me going, and I get like a glimmer of hope, and I really, I feel really motivated to keep going, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get back running fit, like really well again, and then I have another bad race, and it's kind of been up and down like a bit of a roller coaster for the past 5 years. So it really had got to the point in America when I had such a bad time. I really, I had enough, basically. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I wasn't enjoying it. I hated running. I hated racing. I got too nervous when I was racing because I was always expecting to do badly. So although I came back and did the British season, I wanted to salvage something from then, and then I got injured. I kind of thought, having been injured this year, and again I was injured last year, I just thought I've had enough of this sort of yo-yoing, and I needed a change, basically. So I decided that to improve, I either had to give up, basically, and just walk away from the sport entirely, which I was really, really tempted to do. Like, that was kind of in the forefront of my mind. But then I also thought I hadn't really given myself enough of a chance to really sort of get back to where I was when I was younger again. So I then contacted Mick Woods, and I asked him to sort of help me out with my sort of progression on my rehab, really, initially. And I just, having talked to him, I knew he really, immediately he really cared about, he cared about me even though I was injured. He was really interested in what cross training I was doing. He was really supportive, basically, and that was exactly what I needed. So then I kind of thought, I'm just gonna build up gradually and see how it goes, and it started going really well. So yeah, I'm really glad I did it, because I guess it's kind of Mick sort of saved me from quitting the sport, and I know he knew that, and I think he was really keen for me to, at least try, and he really wants to help me out for, my last sort of opportunity, really, I think. Sounds really dramatic, but it was quite dramatic. But yeah, no, so I'm back running again, basically, and I'm really happy. I'm really enjoying running again, which is good, because I wasn't enjoying it at the beginning of the season.
So how have you found training? Is it differed from what you were doing under Andy Hobdell to Mick now, or?
Yeah, it does. It does differ a lot, actually. I guess kind of winter training is a bit generic with all coaches. You kind of do the same sort of long reps on the grass, really. But I was doing sort of a lot of threshold before, in my training before, and I was kind of going backwards, basically, at my threshold. So instead of doing that, I'm now sort of breaking up my threshold into sort of much shorter reps, so I can keep the pace going, and I feel like I'm getting stronger as a result of that. So it is different, but it's also, I think at the moment, this time of year, everyone's kind of doing the same sort of stuff. So It's just, I'm just really enjoying being part of a big group. Like, although I trained with Katrina Witten before, and I absolutely love training with her, and she's such a lovely girl. It was just the two of us most of the time, and now I'm in a group full of lots of girls and loads of boys, and I'm absolutely loving it. Like, I'm having a really good time. So, and I feel like I'm being dragged around, you know, and before you even know it, you've done like another session, and that's another session ticked off, and so I'm kind of on the way to building up.